Read in the Hindi, the Gutka. In the Gutka, page number is 287. Milan Madhuri number 27. Milan Madhuri number 27. The words will be projected on the screen. Please do turn off your cell phone. Mannath Shri Jagannatho Madguru Shri Jagadguru Madatma Sarvabhutatma Kripalu Gurave Namah. Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnur Gurur Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Aho Chitram Aho Chitram Vande Tat Prem Bandhanam Yat Baddham Muktidam Muktam Brahma Krida Mrigi Kritam Vande Navaghan Shyamam Pit Kausheya Vasasam Sanandam Sundaram Shuddham Shri Krishnam Prakrite Param Namah Kamalana Bhaya Namah Kamala Maline Namah Kamala Padaya Namaste Kamalekshana Yo Brahmanam Vidadhati Purvam Yo Vai Vedanscha Prahinoti Tasmai Tagvam Ha Devamatma Buddhi Prakasham Mumukshurvai Sharanamaham Prapadye. Eternally devoted souls, let's drink the nectar of Milan Madhuri. Dayee, Haun, aaj Thagaya, Gayee. Aaj Thagaya, Gayee. Dayee Haun aaj Thagaya Gayee Dayee Haun Dayee Haun Dayee Haun aaj Thagaya Gayee Dayee Haun आजू ठगाय गई दई हौं। आजू ठगाय गई दई हौं। गई रही सखी कुसुम सरोवर। गई रही सखी कुसुम सरोवर। कुसुम सरोवर। कुसुम सरोवर। संग रही सखीन कई दई हौं। संग रही सखीन कई दई हौं। दई हौं। दई हौं। दई हौं। दई हौं। आज ठगाय गई दई हौं। आज ठगाय गई दई हौं। आज ठगाय ठगाय गई दई हौं। आज ठगाय गई दई हौं। An individual soul is recounting her first meeting with the Supreme Soul. A gopi is telling an intimate friend of hers, she says, Sakhi, today I have been deceived. I was deceived in a way that I was never deceived before. Aaj main thagayi gayi. Many people are deceived by family members, friends, strangers. There are scammers out there. They know how to deceive. It's as if they have degrees in how to be deceptive. So there's a lot of deception in the world. The gopi says, I have never been deceived like this. And she's not talking about one lifetime, her current lifetime. She's talking about unlimited lifetimes. Every individual being has been born uncountable times. Adi Jagat Guru Shankaracharya says, Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani, jathare shayanam. Iha sansare, khaludustare, kripaya pare, pahi murare. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, he says, again and again we take birth, again and again we face death when we are reborn, and this has been going on since time immemorial. This has always been going on. There was never a time when we did not exist. So the gopi says, but never in any other lifetime, in my uncountable lifetimes, I was never deceived like this, like the way I was deceived today. She's talking about the fact that she has been graced by Shyamsundar. Shri Krishna has graced her. Rasiks have very unique ways of speaking. They say the same thing as we might say, but with a lot of nectar, a lot of sweetness, and in very unique ways. For instance, a true devotee of Shri Krishna says, don't ever fall in love with that heartless one. Because ever since I've started loving him, I have lost my peace of mind. Now, is this devotee complaining? It seems so, yes. But actually, inwardly, this devotee is so happy, ecstatic in love for Shri Krishna. The great Saint Mirabai says, Jo main aisa janti, preet kiye dukh hoye, nagar dhindhora peetti, preet na ki jo koy. Had I known that I would be in so much pain just by loving that heartless Krishna, I would have announced to all the townspeople, don't fall in love with him. He's heartless. You'll suffer like I am suffering. But that's a very sweet suffering. Someone who does not know this will think, oh, this one is complaining. This gopi is not complaining. She's ecstatic. And she says to her Sakhi, but I was deceived in a way I've never been deceived before in uncountable lives. Because when someone is graced by Shyam Sundar, then this individual soul, in this case the Sakhi, the gopi, she has lost her body. Never again will she get a material body. So she has been robbed of a material body. Never again will she get a material mind, because her mind is now divine. So she says, I have been robbed of a body, and the body is very important to us. There is a pride which is called Dehabhiman, pride of the body, and that's a very big pride, especially in one's youth. And then as a person gets older and older, the pride comes down further and further until it's gone altogether. Because now the beauty queen she's got a hunchback and she's walking with the help of a stick. Now the pride of the body is gone. She used to say, I don't get out of bed unless I get 500,000 that day for a modeling job. And now nobody wants to see her. So Dehabhiman is gone. That pride of the body, I am so beautiful, or I'm so handsome, I'm so good looking. And he's strutting like a peacock. But that pride is short-lived. But it is there. And when it's there, it's very strong. It's very powerful. It's the pride of youth, pride of the body. And in youth, the pride of the body is at its worst. There was a young lady, she was walking down the street, and she was a very ordinary-looking girl. And she met up with a devta. And his body was very shiny, and he was extremely very beautiful, very handsome, very good looking. And she asked him, who are you? You don't look like you're from here. He said, no, I am not from around here. I'm from Swargalok. I'm a devta. And you know what? I can give you something. I can bless you with, I can give you a boon. I can fulfill some desire. I can give you something. What would you like me to give you? And she was young and she thought, I am the best looking of all. I have so many people who are attracted towards me. She said, well, I don't really need anything. You can give me anything you want from your side. He said, shall I make you beautiful? And she said, what do you mean? So her response was a big slap on his face. How dare you? I'm a beauty queen. And you're telling me that you'll make me beautiful? What do you mean by that? So prapte tu shodashe varshe gardabhi chap sarayate. Even a very ordinary looking girl in her youth thinks she is Miss Universe. That pride is there, no doubt it is there. But there was a young lady who said to Shri Maharaji once, she was crying. She said, Maharaji, this beauty of mine, physical beauty, is just, it's just such a bother to me. People distract me because they look at me and they think I'm so beautiful. And she was genuinely saying this. She wasn't bragging. She was crying. Maharaji told us this story. She came to him in private and said, Maharaji, I don't want this beauty because people stare at me, they look at me. So there is a very happy exception to the rule. A young lady complaining to her guru about her good looks and saying this is a distraction. But 99.999% of the time, this is not so. So the gopi says, this body that I have been so proud of, this body is no longer, it won't be available to me, because now she'll get a divine body. And the mind, which is so full of worldly thoughts, full of thoughts of anger and greed and jealousy, pride, worldly attachments, this mind in which I have filled so many thoughts, I have done this over lifetimes, countless lifetimes. Now this mind is gone also, because Sri Krishna is now giving me a divine mind. So I have been deceived like never before. The other gopi understands what has happened, and she says, but I warned you, did I not? Not to look at him. She's talking about Shamsundar, of course. I warned you, I cautioned you not to look at him. And if you happen to look at him by mistake, don't speak to him. Don't make the mistake of talking to him. And even if you do speak with him by mistake, don't touch him. There's magic in his touch. So I had cautioned you. What happened? What did you do? And this gopi says, I'll tell you what happened. I had no intention of looking at him, but he just appeared in front of me. गई रही सखी कुसुम सरोवर, गई रही सखी कुसुम सरोवर, कुसुम सरोवर, कुसुम गई रही सखी कुसुम सरोवर, गई रही सखी कुसुम सरोवर, प्रकट्यो आय अचानक छलिया, प्रकट्यो आय अचानक छलिया, अचानक छलिया, लतन कुंज उनई दई हौं, 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 आजू ठगाय ठगाय गई दई हौं, आजू ठगाय गई दई हौं, आजू ठगाय गई दई हौं, आजू ठगाय गई दई हौं। Sakhi, I went to Kusum Sarovar. Kusum means flower, Sarovar means pond. So in Govardhan, there is a place called Kusum Sarovar, and it exists even today. You can go there. Shri Maharaj Ji, Jagat Guru Uttam Shri Kripalu Ji Maharaj. Shri Maharaj Ji took devotees there every single year. When we went to Vrindavan, he always made it a point to go to Kusum Sarovar. We did ecstatic chanting over there. It was wonderful. And there's a body of water there. There's water there. And but in those days, 5,000 years ago, there must have been such amazing flowers there, multicolored flowers, fragrant flowers. When Shri Maharaj Ji came to the West, Canada and the US, Maharaj Ji said, when he went back to India, he said, "Wahan pe phool nahi hai." There are no flowers there. In other words, what? There are no flowers? But in other words, the flowers don't have fragrance. Flowers do not have fragrance over here. So in India, the flowers are extremely fragrant. So there must have been such amazing flowers that we cannot even think about these days. Parijat and so on. And there was an abundance of flowers, and there was thick foliage there. So I had gone to Kusum Sarovar to pick flowers, and gopis would go there routinely to pick flowers. And Radharani would go there, and they would all have their baskets, and they would take the flowers for the daily puja, for the daily worship. And this was a routine for the gopis. They would all meet up over there, and there would be so many gopis over there. So I was there, and I had just bent a branch of one of the flowering trees, and I was just about to pick a flower, and then all of a sudden he jumped up from the tree, and he just appeared in front of me. He just jumped down, and I was startled. I said, I was startled. We become startled. You and I would become startled if somebody were to just jump from up there. And so the gopi said, I was startled. He scared me. That frightened me. And I was with a lot of other sakhis, but no one else saw him. I was there, and he appeared in front of me. Because it is his intention to grace this particular gopi today. When Shri Krishna wants, he will look at one particular gopi, and he would give her the nectar from his eyes, or the nectar of his smile, and then no other Sakhi would see that, but only that intended Sakhi will see, because he wanted to grace her only at that time. So she was being graced. So I didn't look at him deliberately. He just appeared in front of me, jumped from a tree. So I had to look at him. I saw him. And I looked around, and I couldn't see the other gopis, because you see there's so many trees there that you can't even see a few feet in front of you. So although there are many, many gopis scattered over there, this gopi couldn't see her other sakhis. So now Thakurji has privacy with this sakhi. So Prakatyo Aya Achanak Chaliya Latan Kunj Unai. So he appeared out of nowhere. And then the other gopi is saying, then what happened? Aur batao, what happened? Fir aage kya hua? We also want to know what happened next. Mote kahi sakhi to hi dekhan. Mote kahi sakhi to hi dekhan. Sakhi to hi dekhan. Sakhi to hi dekhan. Mote kahi sakhi to hi dekhan. Mote kahi sakhi to hi dekhan. Maiya mohi pathai Dayee Haun. Maiya mohi pathai Dayee. Please clap your hands and sing. Maiya mohi pathai Dayee Haun, Dayee Haun, आज ठगाय गई दयी हां, आज ठगाय गई दयी हां, आज ठगाय गई दयी हां, आज ठगाय गई दयी हां. So Sakhi, then he said to me, look, your mother has sent me over here. My mother has sent for me. She wants you to come home right away. Gopi, I didn't come here to see you. I just came because your mother sent a message for you. So I've been searching for you. I found you. So I'm just a message bearer. And the Gopi is thinking, why did my mother send him? And she's scratching her head, although she's very happy, because as Shri Maharaj says, ik nazar unko dekha, gazab ho gaya. So one look is all it took for the Gopi to be sold at his hands, but she's still just pretending that he's not really anything much to her. And he said something which amazed me. He said, well, your mother and my mother have gotten together and they have decided to get us both engaged. Engaged? And the gopis thinking, so many gopis are observing so many fasts for Katyayani Devi. I didn't even observe the fast. And this is my great fortune that I'm going to be engaged to him. But she didn't show it. She said, oh, what a bother. Now I have to go home. What is this Thagaya anyway? What is this engagement? Oh, I was picking flowers, now I have to go home. She's saying this on the outside, but inside she's so happy. Oh my goodness, I'm engaged to him. I'm going to get married to him. And she's like, feels like jumping, but she contains herself. No, I cannot show this to him. So, like a lot of people say roka. You've heard that word, roka? Right. So that's a Gayee that, now they're very young, both of them are very young. And in the future, they'll get married perhaps, or maybe they're getting married at such a young age. That is to be seen, but Kanhaiya has made her day, her life, her countless lifetimes by saying, your mother and my mother have been talking about getting both of us engaged, and your mother told me that I could find you in Kusum Sarovar, so she asked me to get you. And the Gopi then tells her friend that I was so happy And I believed him, and of course, and I said, okay, let's go home then. So we were walking together. Aaju thagaya Gayee Dayee Haun. Aaju thagaya Gayee Dayee Haun. Haun pati aaya Gayee sang mag maha. Pati aaya Gayee sang mag maha. Haun pati aaya Gayee sang mag maha. Pati aaya Gayee sang mag maha. Mogar baah Dayee Dayee Haun. 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 Dayee Haun. Dayee Haun. Dayee Haun. Dayee Haun. Aaju thagaya Gayee 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 Dayee Haun. Sakhi, he was walking home with me because his Maiya was at my place, he told me. And he said on the way, he said, there are some rituals that happen, when a person gets engaged, when two people get engaged, the two families, they exchange gifts, some fruits and sweets and so on. And the gopi was saying, oh, well, I don't know anything about that. And so small talk was taking place. And then Sakhi, he put his arms around my neck. And when I received that touch, when he did that, I felt something that I had never felt before. Because Thakurji's touch is divine, and it's not like any worldly touch. And everyone has experienced the touch of the world countless times. So that touch is stored in the memory. It is stored in the memory. So when the divine touch, when one is touched by Shamsundar, then there is no memory of that. This is something so unique, so different. And there's a different feeling. Like Surdas ji, the blind devotee, he had fallen into a ditch. And Shamsundar himself, Shri Krishna himself came to rescue him because God always takes care of his devotees. So Surdas, the blind devotee, had fallen into a ditch, and Thakurji, he pretended that he was a passerby, a farmer who was going to water his fields. And he said to Surdas, Baba, I'm going to pull you up, so grab hold of my hand. And Surdas ji did that. And when he grabbed hold of Shamsundar's hand, he thought, I have never attained this kind of touch before. I've never experienced this touch before. This is not a worldly touch. This is my Shyam-Sundar. This is my beloved Krishna. I know it has to be him because this is not a worldly touch. So Shri Krishna rescued, he pulled Surdas out of that ditch. And then Surdas ji would not let go of Shri Krishna's hand. Shri Krishna said, Baba, I'm getting late. I have to go to my fields before it gets dark. I need to water them. And Surdas said, I'm not letting go of your hand. It has taken countless lives to get this touch from you, and I'm not going to let go of you. So Thakurji smiled, but he just used not even a little bit of his strength, and he could easily get free. He got freedom from Surdas's hold. And Surdas ji then said something which is so wonderful. He said, and he challenged the Supreme Lord. He said, बाह छुड़ाए जात हो निबल जानी के मोही हृदय ते जब जाओगे मर्द बदांगो तो ही. You are the omnipotent Lord, so it's not surprising that you're able to gain freedom from my physical hold, but I will accept your strength only when you manage to escape from my heart. I have you imprisoned in my heart, and I challenge you, O Lord of Lords, that you cannot escape. And Shri Krishna could do nothing but cry. He shed tears looking at this love of the devotee. So Surdas ji knew, he was blind, but he knew from the touch of Shyam-Sundar that this is the divine touch. So the gopi says, as soon as he put his arm around me, I felt something I had never felt before. The happiness, the surge of happiness, true happiness, I was experiencing this, and I cannot express in words how I felt. And then Thakurji, being Thakurji, he said very quietly to the gopi, he said, I like you very much, but do you like me too? And the Sakhi thought, oh, how do I tell him I like him? But she said nothing. She just kept looking down. She kept biting her lower lip, and she's looking down. And Thakurji said, I understand. Maunam sammati lakshanam. When you give, your silence is indication of a positive response, that you do like me. And Sakhi, I was not able to walk after I got his touch. After I experienced his touch, I was like someone who is drunk, intoxicated. I could not walk properly. He had to support me. I thought I was going to fall down. I was going to lose consciousness. But he supported me, and somehow I was walking with his support. And then what happened? The gopi wants to know. आज उठ गाय गई दई हाँ आज उठ गाय गई दई हाँ बात कृपालु झूठ निकली Dayee Haun.
Aaju Thagaya Dayee Haun.
And then Sakhi, as we were walking, and I could hardly walk, he was supporting me. And then all of a sudden, after saying to me that he likes me very much and asking me if I like him, because he said, if you don't like me, then let me know right now, because I can go home and tell my Maya, you won't be embarrassed. I can tell my Maya, the girl doesn't like me, so let's go. You won't have to say a thing, so just let me know. But the gopi indicated she likes him, so everything was going well. And then after this, all of a sudden, he ran away, and as he was running away, he said, I was just making this up. What? Oh, this was all lie. I was just making this up. Your Maya's not at my Maya's place. They're not meeting. They're not my Maya's not at your Maya's house. They haven't talked at all. There's no such thing as our Thagaya, our engagement. And he just ran away from there after saying this. But Sakhi, I have not been able to stop thinking of him. All I can do now is to think about him day and night and day. As I'm waking, I'm sleeping, and I'm dreaming of him. I'm eating, I'm thinking of him. He has taken my mind away. I have been deceived in such a big way, like I've never been deceived before. So when the individual soul attains the ultimate grace of Shri Krishna, then Shri Krishna takes away everything. He takes away the material body and gives a divine body. He takes away the mind, which is filled with worldly thoughts. And there are three types of karma: sanchit, prarabdha, and kriyaman karma. He takes them all away. Sanchit karma are the accumulated actions from countless previous lifetimes that have yet to bear fruit. And prarabdha karma are some of those sanchit karma, some of those accumulated actions that are given as consequences in every lifetime. But they're like a drop in the ocean. Very few of those previous actions have been given to us as destiny. And then the main action is the kriyaman karma. These are the actions we are performing with the freedom of will in this life. But now sanchit karma, the whole file of sanchit karma, accumulated actions, is burned. Kshiyante chasya karmani tasmin drishte paravare, Mundakopanishad. That now all the sanchit karma, pap, punya, sinful actions, virtuous actions, the file is completely destroyed. You can say he burns that file. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo moksha yishyami mashucha, Gita. Shri Krishna says, I shall destroy all your sins. I will absolve you of all your sins, and I will give you liberation. So, pap and punya, those actions we have performed in countless previous lives, are all destroyed. And never again will there be kriyaman karma, because now this individual soul has become divine and will now reside in Golok. So there's no kriyaman karma anymore. So all the three types of actions have been stolen. They have been taken away. Material body has been taken away. The three types of actions have been taken away. Everything material, Maya, has been taken away. So there will no longer be anger, greed, hatred, pride, jealousy, lust. Nothing, no vice of Maya can ever touch this individual. All of them have been taken away. The one who has surrendered fully to Shri Krishna now resides in Golok, in Shri Krishna's abode. Now there will be no more actions that will bear fruit, because we perform actions due to our desires. We want something, and this is why we do whatever we are doing. All our actions are motivated by the desire for happiness. Whether we are sitting or standing, whether we are eating or pushing the plate of food away, whether we are laughing or crying, all these mutually contradictory activities are performed for one reason alone, and that is because we want to be happy. Now, true happiness has been attained. God who is happiness himself. Now, if you have God, you have attained God, then what else are you going to work for? There's nothing more to work for. You have attained whatever you have been working for countless lives. And now there is no work. And now if you work, if you do something, it is for the sake of others. And this is why when saints come to this world, they don't come with a personal agenda. There's only one agenda, and that is the unselfish agenda of helping others. Helping others go to God. When Shri Maharaj was asked by a devotee, Maharaj, what is your daily schedule? Shri Maharaj said, very seriously, because this question was asked in such a way that it made everyone laugh. What is your daily schedule? Maharaj said, I do whatever it takes to take people to God. What a beautiful answer. I do whatever it takes to take a person to God. That is the only agenda of a saint. So there is no selfishness, there is nothing to work towards. So now all the works are being done, but saints do work, they write books, they give lectures, they talk to people, they do so much. But whatever they do, it is for the sake of others. Whatever we do, being controlled by Maya, whatever we do is for the sake of happiness. Whether it is getting an education or getting married or whatever we are doing, starting a business, staying in this country, going far away, staying with the family, going far away from the family, sitting, standing, laughing, crying, whatever we are doing, it's for our sake, for the sake of our happiness. But now, gunatita sthita pragyo Vishnu bhaktascha kathyate etasya kritakritvatvat chastram asman nivartate. Bhagwan Vedavyas says that once you have attained God, you're kritakritya. You've done everything there is to be done. Now there's nothing to do. So now there is no kriyaman karma either. Nothing. Karma, as long as we are performing actions, karma, fruit-bearing actions, those karma, they bind us. Karmani badhyata jantuhu. Karma, actions, they bind, they tie up the individual. Because you will either perform good actions or bad actions, a mixture of both good and bad actions. So good actions bind us, evil actions, sinful deeds bind us also. All actions bind us. But when you attain God realization, there's no bondage of actions because those actions are dictated by God and they are being done selflessly for the welfare of the world. Saints come to this world, they are insulted, they are maligned, they are put in jail, they are nailed to the cross, they're given poison to drink, they are welcomed to this world in so many different ways. But they still keep coming, they still smile, they don't grieve, they do not complain, they do not say, is this how you treat me? Because they have only one agenda, and that is to help others go to God. No matter how. Shri Maharaj said, I'll do whatever it takes. Whatever it takes means even if I'm insulted, even if I'm maligned, even if people have doubts about me, I'll do whatever it takes to take a person to God. Saints often get a bad reputation. Tulsidas ji says, when a saint says to a worldly person, look, you should part with some of your wealth, material wealth, money, then the worldly person thinks, he's greedy, that's why he's asking me. Tulsidas ji gives the example of an elephant, a majestic elephant, that would be a saint. The elephant is walking majestically through the village, and there's a dog in the elephant's path at a distance, and the dog sees the elephant, and the dog has just unearthed, he found a bone which is totally dry. It's dried up, there's nothing on the bone. And the dog chews on this bone, and the bone causes the dog's throat to bleed. So the dog is sucking its own blood, but foolishly thinking that the bone is very juicy. So he thinks that it thinks that the bone is very precious. So it digs up the earth with its paws and then buries the bone and sits on top of it. Thinking what? Thinking that this elephant is coming towards me to get my bone. But I will not let the elephant have my bone. Why is Tulsidas ji talking like this about elephants and dogs? He says the saint is like a majestic elephant. The elephant has not even looked at the dog. The elephant doesn't want anything to do with the dog. The elephant doesn't want anything from the dog. But the dog thinks, I will not let this elephant have my precious property. So does a worldly person think. I will not part with my money, and this one, he's telling me to donate money. I will not do this. I will not part with my money. He doesn't understand that when a saint teaches about seva, serve in every which way that you can. What do we have that we can serve with? We can serve physically, we can serve financially, and we can serve in our mind. We can do Rup Dhyan of serving. But if one is capable of doing financial seva, one must. Why do saints teach us this? Ramakrishna Paramhans used to say, if you go to a mandir, if you go to a temple, someone asked him, how much should we donate? How much should I donate? And Ramakrishna Paramhans said, when you go to a mandir and you have prasad there, you eat there, you must give 5 times what the cost of that food. Ramakrishna Paramhans, who showed that he was so allergic to money that someone testing him put a coin under his mattress. And Ramakrishna Paramhans said in the morning, I couldn't sleep, I was tossing and turning because someone put a coin, money in there. He was teaching everyone, you must donate. He used to say, Ramakrishna Paramhans used to say, do not come to me empty-handed. He would say directly, do not come empty-handed to me. You must bring something. You must learn how to do seva. So when a guru teaches that, then he is maligned. He's after money. So all his actions are for the sake of the world. Once someone asked me, why do holy people come to our city and they always ask for money? And I said, well, I'm here for the first time, so I can only tell you why I think they would, because I do the same work as they do. I do godly work and they're doing godly work. So if they do talk to you about money, it's because everything costs money. And someone asked me, do airlines charge you for flights? I said, yes, they do. And I don't have Pushpak Viman. So yes. The flights do cost, yes. And so even if it's someone who's spreading the message of God, people say, oh, money is dirty. If it's so dirty, why do you hesitate to part with it? There's no answer. Money and dirty matter. And yet you're so attached to it that you don't want to part with it. So the world does not want a saint to talk about money because of their attachment. We don't want the saint to talk about money because we are attached to money. And when we say, well, no, he shouldn't talk about dirty things like money. But we don't think it's dirty because we are so attached to it. So the saint comes to the world to teach precious lessons. I was telling you this afternoon that when Shri Maharaj took out a 1,000 rupee note to give to someone who was needy, someone who was begging, then a devotee immediately said, Maharaj, take this 100 rupees, please keep the 1,000 rupees. Maharaj said, why should I give 100 when I can give 1,000 rupees? A saint teaches us how to live in this world. We think we know. We think we are very intelligent and that we know how to live. But we don't. We do not know. Mother and father cannot teach us what the Guru teaches. Mother and father, God bless them, they teach us so many wonderful things. But mother and father will say, save your money, invest it wisely. What does the Guru say? Yes, invest wisely. And the wisest investment is by giving charity. That is the wisest investment. But how many people in the world will believe it? So a saint comes without a personal agenda to this world. And this gopi is saying, Thakurji, Shamsundar came and robbed me of everything. He deceived me. He robbed me of a material body, material actions, material mind. He just took everything away. What she's not saying, because she's speaking in the style of Rasiks, what she's not saying is he took all my material tendencies away and he filled me with spiritual happiness. That's what she's not saying, but that's what she means when she says, Aaj Thagaya Gayee Dayee Haun. O Sakhi, I was deceived in a way I have never been deceived. She is ecstatic about this deception of Shamsundar, but she is not verbalizing it. So this is from Milan Madhuri of Prem Ras Madira. I will urge you all, if you're not familiar with Prem Ras Madira, then do become familiar with it. If you want to drink the nectar of Radha and Krishna's pastimes and the nectar of knowledge of Radha and Krishna, then you cannot do without reading and singing and listening to Prem Ras Madira. Boliye Gopi Jan Vallabh Shyam Sundar ki jai. बोलिए प्रेम रस मदिरा की जय, लाडली लाल की जय, जगत गुरुतम श्री कृपालु जी महाराज की जय. जय जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री